Hello, dear friends. Bonjour, mes amis. My name is Mark Leithead, pronounced Leithead. I grew up here in Orleans, Ontario, Canada, just east of Ottawa, and I want to spend a few minutes to share with you my beliefs on politics, mainly the social, environmental, and international policies that affect us here in Orleans and across Canada, and why I'm applying to be the People's Party of Canada federal election candidate for the riding of Orleans, Ontario, Canada. On the social front, our country has recently faced oppressive and illegal discrimination against our own citizens over the past 3 years. I am against all forms of discrimination, and I believe that merit is the method for improving our community and nation moving forward, both in the workplace and in the social settings such as in restaurants or your children's schools and even hockey arenas. In terms of our environment, despite global carbon dioxide levels being 1 times higher today than they have been over the past million years, Canada's effect on increased carbon dioxide levels is only 1.5% of the global contribution. That means that Canada's efforts to reduce global carbon dioxide levels are insignificant at a probability level of 5% or 1 in 20, or 2 standard deviations from the mean for a normal distribution. This is why I believe a carbon tax on Canadian citizens is proven scientifically to not have any effect on global carbon dioxide levels, and should therefore be abolished immediately. As such, Canada should also remove itself from the Paris Agreement and all other international global climate agreements for reducing carbon dioxide emission levels and nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium use as fertilizer, as it is currently hurting Canadians today. We also have already implemented a long-term large-scale extraction of the Athabasca tar sands in Alberta, and the plan for bitumen use obtained from already mined areas should follow through to its end, either refined here in Canada or sent by pipeline only if approved by Canadians, or some other safer method. Compare this to the large dilithium oxide mine approved this year in northwestern Ontario that will create more open-pit mines for electric car batteries. I am also against uncontrolled mining, as this would lead to environmental disasters nationwide. However, with large areas of the tar sands already mined and multi-decade contracts already written, it may make more environmental sense to continue this project than create new mines for recently valued minerals. We also need to take care of Canadians here first and improve their access to housing, higher wages, and less taxes. One immediate way to do this would be to send less foreign aid and money to countries in war when the majority of Canadian citizens here are suffering financially in terms of housing and finding any job. I myself am a second-generation immigrant, being born in Canada to 2 Canadians, my mother being from Lebanon, my father with Scottish and Irish origins ranging back to Toronto, where I was born, and my grandmother being from Melville, Saskatchewan. I and my family are a product of successful immigration in Canada. I am not an expert on the number of new individuals in Canada that Canada is able to sustainably accept every year. However, this number should certainly be accurately calculated so that Canadians are not suffering as a consequence of this increased population growth. As for abortion, I believe that it is 100% up to the woman to decide, and I will always fight for your right to abort at any time during the pregnancy. Growing up in Orleans, working at Really Lebanese shawarma restaurant, delivering for Topper's Pizza, and recently managing hazardous chemical waste destruction from hospitals and industries in Ottawa and across Canada, I always envisioned owning a home here, or retiring my parents, or owning a V8 sports car available in both automatic and manual transmission, or even inviting my family over for a barbecue on the weekend after a hard week's work. The good life. And it doesn't take much for our kids and grandkids to have the good life too. It just takes a bit of political adjustment and rebalancing the funds based on meritocracy instead of discrimination. And this is why I, Mark Leithead, am applying to be the People's Party of Canada candidate for Orleans, and support the party across Canada, so we can all have that good life that we've always dreamed and planned to have. Thank you, Mark Leithead.